Do you love your school? Wish you could live here? Well, now you can. Join the School Living Club today. Just speak with one of our founding members, Yuki Takeya, to join.
Step on the land, I've got your hand, and now we're way down, fade out low.
Yuki is a positive and energetic student here at Meguregaoka High School, and she would love to come and live with you. In figure form, of course. This figure of Yuki was manufactured by Molto Bene, a figure company that I'm not too familiar with. It seems that not many companies picked up on the series, so I thought I would give this little known company a chance. While this figure is not without flaws, which I will go into depth a bit more later, overall, she's a cute figure. She's beaming with energy with her bright eyes, wide open smile, and spirited stance. It does a pretty decent job at capturing Yuki's personality. The pose is fun and dynamic as to capture her in the moment she rushes up to a dear friend in the schoolyard. Every piece of her flows with her, from the swinging water bottle off her backpack to one of the straps slouching off her shoulder. The wind also seems to have gotten its clutches on the hem of her skirt, giving this figure a cheeky twist. As for the paint job, it's decent at best. Some areas really shine as it adds life to her eyes, and the shading on her skin also gives her some warmth. But it does look a bit grainy in places, especially in her hair, and there are some noticeable raised globs on her backpack. The sculpt offsets this in many aspects, however, as the wrinkles in her skirt, the ruffles on her socks, and the tread on the bottom of her shoes gives this figure some nice depth. But even that's not near perfect. The most noticeable piece is that random strand of hair that awkwardly sticks out of place. I feel it doesn't quite flow with the rest of her hair, but it's not too much of an issue in the grand scheme of things. One of the things you may notice though, when you view this figure in the box, is that there is some assembly required. It's not really difficult and comes with some simple directions. Just attach a strap from the back of the backpack, slide one arm in, and reinsert the strap. However, I felt the strap doesn't stay in place as much as it should, and you might find yourself with a loose strap like I did for half of the filming. Another thing to know when I removed my Yuki from her packaging was that there was a bit of white film on the edges of her hat. I was able to easily rub that off, and I'm not really sure what it was, and at first it was a bit concerning, but as it came off without any trouble and didn't remove the paint underneath, my initial concerns left.
Step on the land.
And if we scan all the way down, you may have noticed the lack of interest this base delivers to this figure. It is sadly one of those black discs, and with its shiny finish, it is guilty of leaving many fingerprints. But I think the biggest grievance is the short pegs that this stand has for attaching Yuki to the base. Having a figure with one lifted leg is a risk, as without the proper support, it could lead to leaning in the future. I have seen other bases with much longer pieces, some even made out of metal for the extra support. As Yuki is still new to my collection, I can't say if she will lean in the future, but it's much more likely without the extra support. Overall, this figure of Yuki does show off that Molto Bene is still a newbie to the figure scene. And if you are a figure perfectionist, the lack of attention to some of the details might be hard to get past. I can't say that this is worth the near $100 price tag, but if you can find her for a discounted price and are a fan of the series, you may want to pick her up with the lack of alternatives out there. She is by far not the most disappointing figure I've come across. She does have some nice details, and to see her waving so energetically brings a smile to my face. So that was my review of the Yuki figure from De Molto Bene. If you guys picked her up, let me know what you thought of her in the comments below, or if you didn't pick her up after seeing this review, what are your thoughts now? And don't forget to check out my past figure reviews if you enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, Peekabloos!